Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll, and
Nick, aka the Agent Duckman.
yes,
And I am Greg, aka the Average Greg. I didn't know if we were gonna do like actual names or handles or whatnot.
it's mostly just names. I don't think we used our names at all after we started this intro.
Yeah.
Last time.
It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter at all. But
Okay.
it's mostly yeah. So,
absolute disclaimer for everybody listening: I haven't slept in 36 hours, so if I sound like I'm an idiot, one, it's normal, but two, like I'm also incredibly tired. So
Give yourself more credit. As a fellow disclaimer, this is my first time on here, and I am not as prepared as I would like to be, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's my second time on here, and I'm also not as prepared as I'd like to have been.
correct.
Hey, Macarena!
More stuff has happened this week.
Of
But before we
course.
get into that, I'd like to do a quick shout out to OBLIGAPOD, a nostalgic comedy podcast about science fiction, cult movies, retro gaming, and pop culture. One of the casters is a friend of mine, and they have got some cool stuff. I've been checking it out myself. They have introduced me to one of my favorite new phrases in relation to Star Wars stuff. I won't tell you what it is. Give them a listen. It's in the prequel trilogy video. They are on Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify. I wanted to call it Spoofy.
Spoofy?
Point is, you can listen to them on any of those. Make sure to check them out. Feel free to guess what my favorite new phrase of a Star Wars thing is, because I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you figure it out. Give them a listen. Check them out. It's cool stuff.
Guess
Oh,
I
we're
gotta
giving
listen to that.
As I say, sounds like some fun homework. But
Yeah.
fun, unlike actual homework.
Right? The best.
The best. It's number one. Sorry.
We do have news. Lots of news. Lots of things to go through, so let's get into it.
Boom, boom, boom.
You remember when we were talking about Kraven the Hunter last week and wondering who
Yep.
the villain is?
Yep,
We know who the villain is now.
it's the Foreigner. Who the hell is the Foreigner?
Well, funny you should ask. He's basically a better than Olympic athlete human who is
Okay.
very adept in martial arts, and he also has the ability to induce a 10-second hypnotic stare in people through eye contact, giving him the illusion of having super speed or being able to teleport.
Literally,
That's-
what the hell?
That sounds like fun.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds busted, but it sounds like fun.
And
mean-
it
Like, when was this character created?
that's an excellent question. Let me Google that real quick. I remember he just popped up in a recent Spider-Man run, too. I mean, a bunch of Spider-Man villains did with that whole Sinister War BS, but...
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is a Marvel thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Kraven
Okay.
the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunt. Okay, this is the
Kraven the
Oh, wow.
Kraven the Hunter's the guy that, like, you know, he wears like a leopard skin, like he's basically wants to be the ultimate hunter, the ultimate predator.
And ballet slippers.
And
Can't forget the
ballet
slippers.
Yeah, don't forget about those.
That sounds like it clashes pretty hard.
No, it's actually pretty well fitting on him.
Okay.
He first showed up in 1986, so he's got some history.
Okay.
86. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm just a pleb, but
Yeah.
it's Christopher Abbott is going to be playing him, right?
Of 22 fame, yes.
Okay.
Well, he's not famous to me, but good for you, Christopher Abbott, I guess.
As
Yeah.
I say, I'm drawing a blank on that myself personally.
I have absolutely no clue who you are, but I'm sure you're a pretty good actor.
Yeah, if Marvel's being like, we'll take this guy, then that's usually a good sign. So
I mean, I can't do it.
I don't have the confidence to try.
I'm not good with rejection.
He also starred in Hello, I Must Be Going and The Sleepwalker.
Oh, neat.
And he was in the critically acclaimed film James White.
Never heard of any of those.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of It Comes at Night. He's in that.
Okay.
Oh, It Comes at Night. That one I've seen. Okay.
Yeah, he's in that, and he's in Catch-22, the 2019 remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
So
in a
that
couple movies.
Okay, as Catch-22 was one that I remember hearing about. Like, I want to watch this, but I never got a chance to actually go and see it.
Was it Catch-22? Did I make a wrong note? Was he in 22?
I think it is Catch-22.
God damn it. The even worse part is I just realized there are 3 audio tracks, so this is gonna, like, removing stuff that doesn't work is gonna be a pain in the behind. So this is, yeah, nice job, me.
Hey,
Good job.
it's
Nice
not
work.
the biggest mistake in the world, my man. I mean, you just didn't add the catch, okay?
Yeah, I missed the catch.
For the love of the medium, or something like that.
So now we got a
Okay.
whole bunch of we got a release date for Gotham Knights, right?
We do have a release date for Gotham Knights. It is coming out, allegedly, October 25th, 2022.
Awesome.
I can't wait to play it with one friend, because despite having 4 characters, the co-op multiplayer is limited to 2 people.
Is it really? That's fucking
Wait, what?
stupid.
Why?
Wait, it's
Well,
really
welcome
only
to
limited to
AAA
2
game
people? What the
Yep.
hell? That actually makes me upset. What the fuck's the point of having 4 fucking characters? Albeit, I know nobody in their right mind is gonna actually play fucking Barbara unless they're fucking chosen. No, because
I'd play Barbara. I'd play Barbara before I played Damien.
fuck
I would play
Barbara.
all 4.
Seriously, she's useless. I hate Barbara.
I
Wow.
mean, I would play all 4. I'm just shocked. Why is from a fundamental game design level? Why are you making it only 2-player at most?
You have 4 playable characters, and you lock 2 of those out. You can only play 2 at once. What the fuck are you thinking? That's
I'm
retarded.
so glad I introduced this news to you guys.
Oh my god, that is
That
actually
is-
infuriating.
That is some extremely questionable game design. I am not as violently. I am with Nick on that one.
I
No,
love
it's
it.
just stupid. It doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
but whatever. I guess whatever. I guess I'll enjoy playing as 2 people. Only 2 people. In the game
Remind-
that's marketed towards 4 characters, the whole Bat family trying to figure out who killed Batman.
Remind me who's developing this game?
I think it's Rockstar. Rocksteady, sorry. I think it's
I think
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady's doing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Then who's doing this? Maybe they're doing both.
Yeah,
let me
I
find
don't
out.
remember who's developing this one.
This is...
Hold on.
Wait, I got it, man. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Gotham Knights. It is being developed by Warner Montreal and Warner Brothers Interactive.
Yep. That
Oh, so
tracks.
this-
That explains
so-
it.
Yeah, so this is a very in-house game.
lazy game design by Warner Brother Games. That does not surprise me.
Oh boy.
That's
If we're all
That's-
done ranting about Gotham Knights,
I'm sorry, that actually
That's-
made me tilted. I
no,
apologize.
that is
I'm glad.
absolutely insane. That is genuinely insane. What the hell?
that makes me a happy. That was pure joy right
I'm
there.
sorry, I got absolutely fucking triggered from that.
Your
Okay,
anger
as
sustains
you
me.
should be, because it makes no damn sense.
Oh man.
what's next on the agenda?
We got an Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser trailer.
Oh, I didn't watch
Did
it.
anybody else watch it?
No,
I did.
I'm decently excited.
I'm interested. I can't exactly pin down when in the general timeline, because I don't know where it's supposed to sit in relation to Rebels, because as far as I know, the Star Wars Rebels is still canon. So I don't know if it's supposed to take place a little after Rebels or what. That's kind of the only part that kind of confuses me.
Yeah,
But
I
it
never
looks
watched
neat.
Rebels, so
It's interesting. It's nowhere near as good as Clone Wars, and Jeff will probably kill me if he hears me say that, but oh well. Well, maybe. I think he likes Clone Wars more. That's neither here nor there. Rebels is worth watching at least a little bit of. It looks interesting. It doesn't really, as with most teaser trailers, doesn't really give you, at least I feel, a lot to work with. Because, like, hey, it's Obi-Wan, making sure that baby Luke Walker doesn't get murdered. Hilarity ensues, I guess. Like, I don't know. With any Star Wars thing, I'm at least interested in it.
I got burnt on Book of Boba Fett, but I'll check Kenobi out.
Still need to watch Book of Boba Fett. I know you guys have said that it's kind of but I still want to watch it.
I didn't watch a single episode, and honestly, I don't feel like I want it. I don't know. I know I missed out because it's apparently important, but I could
Just
give
watch
2
episodes
shits about
5
it.
and 6 and 7. I think.
From what I've heard, it's Mandalorian seasons 2.75. So.
Yeah, if you want to catch up on, if you want to be ready for Mando, just watch the back half of Boba Fett.
Okay. I was going to say, well, it was a thing of when they announced Boba Fett at the end of the last season of Mandalorian. It's like, oh, this is a shoehorn. Like, that. I wasn't expecting great things from it to begin with, so I'm at least going into it with that when I eventually watch it. But
it's just a weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird thing, but whatever.
That's fair. Obi-Wan at least looks interesting. I'll definitely give it a chance, a fair chance, like I do with pretty much anything Star Wars at this point.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
I've already... I should have rewatched this teaser trailer, too, because I've already forgotten most of it.
I kind of have to. Like I said, the biggest takeaway from me was that it's like, okay, it's Obi-Wan in the desert trying to make sure that Luke doesn't get murdered yet.
Yeah, there's a Spanish Inquisitioner or something.
Okay, you actually just reminded me of that. That I am actually very much looking forward to. I am very much looking forward to seeing live-action Inquisitors. Since we've only gotten them in Star Wars Rebels and Jedi Fallen Order. Very curious to see how that goes.
Very cool, very cool.
Well,
moving on. We've got a bunch of movie delays. Or shifts, rather. Not all of them are delays, but even the ones... at least one of the ones that isn't a delay is still pretty unfortunate.
Yes.
We've got DC Super Pets moved back to July 29th, 2022. Thank God. It's a little longer before I have to watch that movie.
And it has Keanu Reeves as Batman, as we talked about last week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. We've got Black Adam moving to October 21st. Which, okay, neat.
Okay.
We've got Shazam! Fury of the Gods is moving up to December 16th, 2022, which means that those rat bastards put it up against Avatar 2.
Yeah, that sucks too, because Shazam is actually a good... I like the original Shazam, the first one. It was a really fun movie. I thought they did a good job of it. And Avatar 2 is going to make money because it's Avatar 2, so it's going to probably take that weekend, which means it's taking all of the... It's taking everything away from that movie, and it sucks. It's probably not going to do too well.
I guarantee you, their rationale was that Aquaman made $1 billion in December, but it's not going to make $1 billion if it goes up against Avatar, whereas Shazam didn't make a bunch of money, so if it goes up against Avatar and loses a bunch of money, oh well, it's just Shazam.
I'm going to be honest, when you first shared that news and I saw you, being annoyed, I was like, okay, it's going to December, what's the big deal? And I read into it, it's like, oh, that's right, there is another Avatar movie.
Right.
There's four more Avatar movies.
It's like, I don't see what the big deal... Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That was me. That was 100%, because I never watched the first Avatar. It never caught my attention.
It's Dances with Wolves with Blue People. It is.
But when I saw it, it's like, why is he freaking out? Oh, that's right, that does exist. Oh, that's going to be fun.
The second one at least sounds a little interesting, only because a good majority of the film is going to... Apparently, they have a lot of underwater scenes that they shot pretty, I don't know. James Cameron's, been talking about how, insane the shooting was because most of the movie's underwater, and he did that before with that one movie. What was that? The Abyss, back in the 80s. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds interesting how they're gonna do it, but I mean, it's gonna make money. It's fucking Avatar.
Oh,
People
yeah,
are gonna go out of
absolutely
curiosity alone. So, I mean, I'm going to see the 3D because it's a James Cameron movie. So.
I wish you luck. I cannot do 3D.
I'm the only director I will actually go out of my way to watch stuff in 3D is James Cameron. Anything that James Cameron makes, the 3D is gonna be good.
I'm sure it will. Unfortunately for me, 3D still gives me a headache. There's only one 3D movie I've seen that I was able to tolerate, and that was They Shall Not Grow Old, which I still...
That was amazing.
It's great. I still kind of feel bad, because I probably did not do a good job telling you, Cody, before we watched it. It's like, yeah, by the way, this movie's kind of gory.
No, I figured it was going to be. I just thought I had a better stomach than that. And I mean, I still sat through the whole thing. I'll
be honest, because I study history, and especially history of warfare as a hobby, I realized how much that was ingrained in me, because I'm just seeing the goriness. I was like, yeah, that tracks. That seems about right. And you're just kind of oh, I was like, oh wait, that's right. Cody's actually a normal person when it comes to that. So.
So. Having been spared the wrath of Avatar 2, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, or whatever they're calling it, has been moved back to March 17th, 2023.
And that was originally the December movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, The Flash has backslid all the way back to June 23rd, 2023.
That's a big slide.
It was supposed to come out in November, I think.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Or next? That's a big
that's
slide.
a pretty big slide.
Do you think
Fastest
something...
man alive, ladies and gentlemen. Fastest man alive.
Any word if there was something that happened with, like, post or whatever?
As I understand it, it mostly has to do with they are very backed up on effects work.
Oof.
Because of, I guess, COVID restrictions or what have you. And The Flash, for example, has a metric fuck ton of VFX shots
Let's
that
be
have to
honest,
be done.
every movie on this list except for DC Super Pets does, because...
Well, I mean, DC Super Pets is entirely animated, so that's
But
still
that's
a bunch
different.
of in-house work.
But that's that's a different skill set than, you know, doing all these post-production effects and, you know, taking things out, digitalizing things, you know, adding in effects. It's a lot more of it's a different skill set. They both take a long time, you know, to do. I don't know. I get it. You know, I completely understand, you know.
Yeah.
But
Except the Shazam part. Fuck you for that.
Yeah, fuck you for putting it up against Avatar. Put something we don't want to see.
There's also a couple of other moves. The Meg 2 has moved to August 4th, 2023.
Did we need a Meg 2?
No, of
yeah,
course not,
that's kind of my thing. It's like, why is there a second one?
Because the first one presumably made money. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it. I
The
probably
Meg
should
2,
have.
son of
I
Meg.
do. My God. And Wonka has moved to December 15th, 2023.
I want to make sure, because when you mentioned that to me, that was the first I heard about it. This is like actually Wonka as in Willy Wonka, correct?
Yes.
This is Willy Wonka's child, like how he first. I think they're doing like a. Basically, they're doing the Tim Burton-esque type of deal where it's like how he got the factory, basically.
Who's playing Willy Wonka?
Timothy Chalamet.
I have no idea who that is.
The kid from Dune.
And a whole bunch of other things. He's a pretty good actor right now.
Oh, well, yeah, after Dune, I'm not surprised to hear that. Okay, alright.
It's just an interesting pick for Willy Wonka. I don't know. I am... The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. It's a masterpiece. It's perfect blend of everything, and it really shouldn't have been as good as it was with the background of the director and everything. The whole movie's history is fascinating. So, the Tim Burton one made me want to throw up in my mouth. So this one, let's hope this one is actually, you know, decent and not terrible.
Let's hope this one skews more Gene Wilder than Johnny Depp.
Oh my god,
yes. I don't know. So the original Willy Wonka, it's a kind of a mixed bag for me, because I still hold that movie a special place in my heart as a kid. But as an adult, it is kind of a thing of like, yeah, some of these kids like are actually dead.
Well, the interesting thing with that movie is the director that they got to do the original, and this is a small tangent, and I apologize. The original director that they got to do the Willy Wonka, you know, original Willy Wonka movie, he was a commercial director and a documentary film director. So if you really like look at how some of the scenes are shot, especially some of the stuff with the teachers and all the skits that they did about finding the golden ticket, it feels like a documentary, and it kind of has that feel up until they get to the factory. So it's interesting. Because that's the kind of directing that he did before, you know, but before he did this movie, he had no practical full film experience, and he made that. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, as I say, like, when you mentioned that, I was like, alright, that does actually make a lot of sense, considering what I remember of that movie.
It's pretty dry up until he gets to the factory. It takes a while to get started, and it kind of has that, like, looking through the lens of the camera kind of deal.
Oh,
and then that tunnel scene happens.
And then the tunnel scene happens.
What the hell was that?
The 8, or was that movie in the 70s?
70s.
The 70s happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, that tracks.
We should probably move on from Willy Wonka.
Yeah. We got some casting news for the Coyote versus Acme movie. We've got Will Forte and Lana Condor joining the cast.
So what the hell is this movie? Like,
yeah, it's like, why? I mean,
as I understand it, it's Wile E. Coyote taking the Acme Corporation to court because of years of their faulty products backfiring on him.
Wait, really?
I already hate this.
Who's writing it?
That's an excellent question.
I mean, I'm probably going to go see it, but I already hate this.
It's
coming out next year. And
really?
John Cena's in it.
No!
Please tell me John Cena plays a lawyer. Just some kind of lawyer.
That's an excellent question.
Oh my god. Oh my god, John Cena is in it. The idea sounds fun. If it's a film, if it's a Lord and Miller film, I would. That's the only two people I think that could do that concept and make it good and funny. But like, it's gonna be very cringy. They're gonna do it in a very bad way. It's like a hybrid live action, like animated, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, is it gonna be like the recent Tom and Jerry movie then?
Yep. Low budget animation mixed with.
Okay, so Will Forte is playing Wiley's lawyer, and John Cena is playing the lawyer's former boss who is representing Acme.
Yeah!
Oh my god, we're getting a legal drama with John Cena in it! Oh god!
I hate this. I am very much looking forward to it.
I will be there day one.
July 21st, 2023, apparently, assuming no pushbacks.
It's going. I'm sure if something has to get moved, this is the first thing they're going to move after all those other
100%.
movies.
Who thought? Oh my god!
It can't be worse than Space Jam 2. All right, it cannot.
No, don't jinx it.
No, look, it cannot be worse than a movie where the best part is a 20-second cameo by Rick and Morty. In a Looney Tunes movie.
That was the best part.
And that's just pathetic.
I'm unfortunately with that movie, my brain is still stuck on Porky Pig being Notorious B.I.G.
P.I.G.
I will forever hate that scene.
Notorious P.I.G.
Shut the hell up. Speaking especially as a hip-hop head, I will hate that. Even though normally I'm pretty accepting with those movies because I understand that they're made for kids now, so they are not going to completely appeal to me. But no, about everything about that, just no.
That was me with
Remember
the
when I
Emoji
called
Movie.
that one guy getting hit with a basketball in the head?
It can't be as good as the time that you predicted the entirety of Spiral.
I did do that.
Still need to watch that.
We're watching. I'm gonna put that on the list. I'm gonna put that on the movie.
We can't put it on the list. There's people who are squeamish.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because it's a.
We're gonna have to stream it at some point.
Oh yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, we got our first look at She-Hulk's actual She-Hulk form, thanks to some promo art on merchandising and Amazon listings.
I'm actually gonna pull this up real quick because
I saw it.
All right.
It's Gamora effects.
Oh, okay.
They painted.
Wow,
her green.
it really is.
I mean,
okay.
What do you do for She-Hulk? You just paint her green and give her the suit.
Yeah, that's Gamora with longer hair, basically.
I mean, yeah, she looks like the character. Cool. It doesn't mean the show's gonna be good. I'll wait and see.
Yeah, I'm hoping legal comedy. I'll wait for a trailer, which presumably we should be getting soon, I should think. I think She-Hulk was next up after Moon Knight in Disney Plus series.
So what, like May, probably?
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, how long is it until Moon Knight comes out?
Moon Knight
comes out the 30th.
Oh, okay. So yeah, probably like May, maybe June, if I had to guess.
It's actually, you know what, this kind of connects to the next bit of news that I got.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because you'd think they wouldn't want it to overlap with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but also that's stupid because if they keep churning out Marvel and Star Wars content, eventually something's going to have to overlap.
Oh, 100%.
And it's stupid of them to it's like, well, what's going to happen if we release both? People are going to watch one, then the other, you big dinguses.
And we're still going to get our money from them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. So, going into that next bit of news, the Hollywood Partnership, a website that, among other things, reports on road closures for premieres and whatnot, may have just given us Ms. Marvel's premiere date on Disney+. Typically speaking, the premiere event happens a week before show ends up on Disney+. For example, they got Moon Knights listed as whatever the week before March 30th is. And if this pattern continues and this listing is correct, we should have Ms. Marvel's first episode on June 8th.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Be curious to see how that pans out.
That's actually surprisingly the one that I'm least looking forward to now, and it's exclusively because they apparently have changed her powers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still not confirmed completely, but it does look like they've given her some kind of energy construct thing instead of her usual shape-shifting and embiggening.
Oh.
Because Mr. Fantastic is coming.
I don't even think it's that. I think what it might actually be is they want to bring her more in line with Carol and Monica in time for the Marvels. But if so, that's really disappointing. I know it's like I know taking liberties is part and parcel of it, but Miss Marvel's powers are a big part of what make her really fun to read. And they're also a really good shorthand metaphor for the awkwardness of puberty, and especially being a superhero going through that shit. So, I don't know. I'm not overly optimistic, but to be fair, even if you lose that effective visual metaphor, Miss Marvel's main appeal is still in the character being a big superhero fan geek, and as long as they keep that, I'm sure it'll still be fine. It'll just nag at me forever in the back of my head. And, there's nothing saying that this won't be a temporary thing and she might not gain her regular powers later on, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's definitely a blow and not a write-off, I guess.
Yeah, get me a teaser. That's really just all I have to say about anything Marvel Studios announces at this point. It's like, just get me a trailer. Howard the Duck movie? Yeah, sure, get me a trailer.
I would love
no.
a Howard the Duck movie.
You two would go by yourselves.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Howard the Duck?
I would not want to do Howard the Duck.
Have I shown you the original Howard the Duck?
Like the comic itself?
No, the movie.
No, the movie.
No, but I remember, I forget who it was, but I remember somebody making a video review of it, years ago, and it's like, that's all I need to see about that movie.
Oh, no, we're watching it at some point now.
That was the moment that I went, I don't need to watch this movie. That was very much I could have gone the rest of my life never seeing that type of deal.
Fun fact, that was the first Marvel property adapted onto the big screen, and it was directed by George Lucas.
It wasn't directed by Lucas,
produced.
but it was produced by Lucasfilm.
That kind of shows. No. Sorry.
No, we're gonna make you at some point.
You'll never take me alive.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yes.
Got some comics news. And I might actually skip around a bit and just get all three of them in one go. These are just things that are upcoming that I'm excited for. June 16th, we are getting the first issue of Defenders Beyond from Al Ewing with Javier Rodriguez as the artist, I believe. I'm a big Al Ewing fan, and I'm also a big fan of most of the people on this roster, because we're getting Tigra, Blue Marvel, America Chavez, Taya, I don't know how you pronounce it, she's the mother of Galactus, and Loki, and it's specifically mentioned to be, in the official, synopsis or whatever, a variant who people familiar with Ewing's previous run on the character will love to see. So it's God of Stories Loki, presumably, from the end of Agent of Asgard.
Oh boy, variants! Yay! Sorry, I had to make that joke. I know it was low-hanging fruit.
No, Agent of Asgard is one of my favorite comic runs of all time, so I'm quite pleased to see this particular brand of Loki come back in whatever form.
If I may ask, because as you know, I don't really read the comics that much. I just basically read the wiki from now and again. What sets this one apart?
It's basically a Loki who stopped caring what everybody else thinks about him.
Well, that's dangerous.
Yeah, no.
That's very dangerous.
It's really good. Honestly, I have the trade paperback. I have all 3 volumes of Agent of Asgard. I'm just gonna let you borrow them, because I don't want to give anything away about this one. And unfortunately, all of God of Stories Loki's awesome moments require me to give away what happens.
This wasn't the... No, wait, that was a different Loki setup. The one that Christina, our friend Christina, really likes. Okay, so
no,
never
that's
mind.
also that.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, now that makes sense. Still dangerous. Still terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In more Loki news, although this one's a bit of a double-edged sword, there is now an Alligator Loki comic. And the first issue is now available exclusively on Marvel Unlimited because it's digital only.
So how do you make an entire comic based...
on an alligator?
Apparently it's Alligator Loki and Thor getting up the shenanigans.
Oh my god!
What?
What?
No, Thor's not. No, Thor's not an alligator. Let me be clear.
Oh my god, that would have been
That's
better
not
if he
the
was an
issue.
alligator.
Actually, you know what? It would be more interesting if Thor was an alligator. Never mind.
No. Guys, it's
Alligator Thor.
It's the variants world, okay? So it's the every one of them are like swamp creatures. Every single one of the early adventures are swamp creatures. See, oh, that would be really
Okay, I would actually be a little on board with that. It sounds horrid, so I would be
That's
interested in reading it.
It's set in basically the entire world is just the state of Florida. So all the villains are just like Floridians that are, dumping
It's
stuff
the
in the
world
river.
of Florida Marvel.
Yeah, Tampa is the Orlando. What's a terrible city in Florida that we can set
Ocala?
Gotham as? Yeah, Ocala is Gotham. There you
Yes.
go.
Or Cal, or like arguably Ybor as well.
Sarasota.
Oh god. Okay.
Sarasota's not horrible. It was just boring because there's nothing to do when it's mostly filled with old people.
Jacksonville.
Well, enough. Let's not isolate our non-Floridian video viewers anymore.
Atlanta?
That's not an...
That's not Florida.
Florida.
You said don't alienate the non-Floridians.
Okay. It's the entire southeast of the U.S. Okay, all of the swamplands, so all of, like the Mississippi swamplands, all of the New Orleans swamplands, and that way you could have Bella Reeves still there. You could have like all.
You realize Gotham is a DC thing, yeah?
Oh yeah.
It's still no. I mean, it still works as an analogy, though.
Bruh,
It does, but
bro, I haven't slept in a while, y'all. Just give me some break. At least I didn't say something like that wasn't a comic book thing.
yeah.
That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut. Because, like I said, I mostly read the wiki.
The last bit of comic news before I go back to other news. Gail Simone is writing Variants, apparently it's a Jessica Jones series where she runs into a bunch of different multiversal versions of herself. So I guess we're getting into the Jessica-verse.
Variant seems to be a big thing right now.
Is it bad that just on that premise I already kind of sort of hate it a little bit?
No, I mean, but Gail Simone's a good writer, and I would very much like to see Jessica Jones get a little more focus, because unfortunately, really the only genuinely super good stuff Jessica Jones has is her original run. And, yeah. I'd like to see the character branch out past that.
That's understandable.
Then again, I think she had one post-Secret Wars that... I don't remember much. I'm gonna have to catch up on it before I start talking too much smack about it. I don't know. I'm just glad it's not another Spider-Verse, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And not another Spider-Verse, not another Venom-verse. I'm glad it's not a Loki-verse. Or a Strange-verse.
A Strange-verse?
I'm honestly glad it's nothing that has anything to do with any of the stuff the MCU is doing.
Okay, well, actually, if it's not really the MCU, I'm cool with that, because it kind of sounded like that it was banking off of a little bit of a Loki. Okay, then never mind then.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking forward to it. Moving on to other news that's more movie and TV stuff. Boy, I really should have organized these.
Hey man, you did a good job.
Thank you. Shawn Levy has been tapped and is expected to commit to directing Deadpool 3. Since he's also directed Free Guy, The Atom Project, and the Night at the Museum series, I think we're in pretty good hands. All things
yeah,
told.
no, actually,
more Free Guy than The Atom Project, but
yeah, I enjoyed both. I obviously enjoyed Free Guy a heck of a lot more.
Did you watch The Atom Project?
Yeah, I finished it not too long ago, actually, before we started recording.
We will talk about that later on. But
yeah, that's the last bit.
Yeah.
Whatever, regardless.
Except for game release
that's
Roundup, that's the one.
I got a couple other movie things before we switch over to gaming as well, but that's
there are some other things on here. I'm just glad to have news on Deadpool 3, because it's been they've been sure to reassure us it's still coming, so that's nice, but it's also good to have something concrete. And something where it's like, yes, a sign of meaningful progress.
I'm still just very curious to see how, because it's like I believe you said that they have confirmed that it's going to be in the MCU, and it's still going to be R-rated.
Yes.
So not so much from a general storyline perspective, but more of a movie promotion, not scaring away all the parents perspective, I'm very curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, because Marvel has been very strict on the PG-13 with the shit bomb thrown in every now and again.
Well, Kevin Feige keeps talking up that Moon Knight's pushing the boundaries of what they're able to get away with, and we'll see if that's true, but
I doubt it's gonna. I don't know. They're gonna make it a PG-13 movie. I mean, I doubt they're gonna make it R.
Honestly, the thing is, you can get away with a lot of shit in PG-13.
Oh, you absolutely can.
The main thing is just swearing, ultimately, and nudity. As long as nobody whips out their Yahoo, and as long as nobody says the F-bomb more than once.
As long as nobody pulls out their license and registration, everybody's good.
I see you're a man of culture as well. Moving on past Deadpool 3 and the need to drop constant F-bombs, we now have confirmation that Michael Giacchino is directing Marvel Studios' Halloween special for Disney+.
Oh boy, is this going to be a Star Wars Christmas special?
No, that's what the Guardians Holiday special is.
That's legitimately what the Guardians is.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah. The interesting thing about this one for me is that we know, trades are reporting that this is happening. Gail Garcia Bernal and Laura Donnelly are both starring. We don't know as who, but speculation is they're playing Werewolf by Night and Vampire by Night.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's happening. The trades are saying it's coming out this year. And Marvel has not said anything about it, which is crazy to me, because they've announced so much shit coming out that we're not going to see for at least, 2 years.
Mm.
And just nutty.
Maybe they think it's going to be a surprise, even though everybody already knows that it's happening.
No, see,
yeah.
The worst part is... Fuck, what was I saying? The worst part about it is I feel like if you were going to do that, they should have done it with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, because that's filming at the same time as Volume 3. So if anybody caught anything, they could just brush it off and, oh, okay, so I guess Guardians 3 is going to have, a holiday band? That's kind of weird. Isn't that strange? And then just imagine everybody losing their collective shit when it shadow dropped in December on Disney+. Just the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and everybody just throwing their arms up like, what is this? What is this nonsense? Marvel, you didn't tell me about this! I mean, I'm still glad they did tell me about it, but also, how dare they, because I've had to wait 2 years for this thing. But just, you can't get away with that with a brand new production with brand new characters, because they're gonna figure out that it's Marvel, and they're just gonna figure it out. If you're gonna hide it in another production.
Yeah, especially since it's with it being Marvel, there's always going to be eyes on whatever they do.
Yeah, exactly. So... There's no. If you're gonna hide something, you might as well hide it in plain sight.
Yeah. I could make a Formula 1 analogy, but I would be the only person who would get that joke. I'm not going to.
Don't isolate our viewers.
Now the real question is, will Gail Garcia Bernal be playing the original Werewolf by Night, aka Mr. Jack Russell?
Please tell me that's not the character.
That is 100% real!
Oh, that hurts.
That is 100% comic book accurate!
So, are you telling me that he's a Jack Russell terror?
Shut the hell up.
That makes it even better! Congratulations! I never thought of that joke!
How is it that you, of all people, have never thought of that joke?
I just thought a werewolf named Jack Russell was funny. I never thought Jack Russell Terror. My god. Fun fact, Moon Knight made his debut in the Werewolf by Night comic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe he'll show up, who knows?
Probably.
That hurt just now.
Speaking of Halloween, let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah. We have confirmation that Elvira is joining the cast of Rob Zombie's The Munsters.
Which is still a sentence I never thought I would ever hear.
Oh,
in my
no,
life.
it gets even weirder. It's a PG movie. He's directing a movie
That's a
for
freaking
kids.
lie.
No, it's not.
Rob's-
It's been confirmed.
It's Rob Zombie, though.
But he's making a PG movie.
El Super Beastar!
It's gonna be... Rob Zombie's gonna take every opportunity to be, like, borderline with that.
It's gonna be the most violent PG movie that ever exists.
Now,
Just like people going down, but there's no actual blood.
I should mention, technically Elvira is not joining the Munsters. Her actress Cassandra Peterson
Right.
is joining the film.
Mm.
But let's be fair.
It's
Elvira's
Elvira.
in the Munsters.
I'd say she's gonna
if
be
you
in
get
as
Cassandra
Elvira.
if you get her, you're gonna get them. You're gonna get Elvira.
Well, the funny thing is she's apparently playing a real estate agent.
Oh, there
Oh.
has to be a reference. There's going to be. There's no way they would do that and not try and
Post-credit
pull something.
scenes where she comes out as Elvira.
Who knows? We'll see.
Set up
We'll
the Munsterverse.
Happy Halloween, everybody, in advance. When does this
Yeah,
come
for
out?
real.
I need to find out when this movie comes out.
Probably around Halloween, I would assume.
Yeah, that would be his MO.
Oh, it's going... Oh, nope, it's being released theatrically and going to Peacock. Neat.
Oh, okay.
When?
Still no release date.
Probably Halloween.
So-
Put money on it.
Halloween now.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's apparently a little over 2 hours. Okay.
Wait, what?
So,
I
Oh
just
yeah,
saw
running
something.
time 163 minutes. Look at that. I
Yeah.
like how there's no release date, but there's a runtime.
Yeah.
so
What is
we've-
that?
So we've talked about werewolves. We've talked about monsters. Let's talk about bats again.
Yeah, vampires essentially. Batmen, if you will.
Not man bat. Not
One
men
singular
bat.
Batman.
No, not men of bats, but
What?
Batman.
One Jonathan Q. Batman. The Batman has passed $400 million worldwide and is set to hit $500 million soon, if it hasn't already. I think I left this one off, but we now have official confirmation the Penguin spin-off series has received a straight-to-series order at HBO Max. So that one is officially progressing forward.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah,
What was up? Oh,
what-
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really like Colin Farrell's Penguin, so yeah.
I think everybody
Still
did.
shocked that was him. That was him being the Penguin.
Right after
Yeah, he's gonna win best makeup on that. The team has to win
He
best makeup
has
on
to. That the team who did his like makeup and everything like kicked ass. They
of
have
course
to
he
win
won't
best
win.
prize.
It's tape shit.
that. Oh yeah.
Well, wait,
that's-
Suicide Squad won best makeup, I think.
Oh.
Did it?
Yeah, and not the good one, the shitty one.
Why did Suicide Squad win makeup?
Killer Croc.
Good point.
Good point.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
so
would-
you can actually say Academy Award winning Suicide Squad 2016.
Ugh.
It leaves a filthy taste in your mouth, doesn't it?
Which is unfortunate because I don't even like really like totally hate that movie, but it still is just like ugh.
It's very middling.
It's even
Yeah.
worse because it's like that's a shitty movie, and also the Academy Awards have lost basically all credibility.
Oh yeah.
But it still doesn't feel right.
No.
Which I guess in a way means it feels about as right as it's ever gonna get.
But I don't know. Congrats on the Batman team for reaching that major sales goal. I'm saying sales goal like I'm their manager. Oh my god. Congrats on the Batman for being so successful, even without I believe the Chinese market and a couple of other markets which we won't talk about.
Movie's good.
Yeah, movie's good. Movie's
It
good.
is.
Movie's is doing well. It's just too damn long, but it needs to be long, but it's long as shit. So
That's
Yeah.
fair. I take it you guys already talked about it
that was
We did.
last
last time. Yeah, okay, cool. I
You
only
haven't
saw it this
watched
past week.
episode 1, the Batman and other stuff?
I
Well-
only saw because I didn't want to be spoiled on the movie before I saw it.
Yeah, and we saw it like last week,
Yeah, I know. But you guys were
and you
still
still
Can
haven't
I
watched the
petition-
podcast.
Can I petition to name this episode Jack Russell Terror?
I was probably just gonna call it the Adam Project and other stuff, but you know what? I might just call it Jack Russell Terror and
Yeah,
other stuff.
I'd say there's your title, man.
Let's move on.
We're
We're almost done here.
Yeah, no, Greg, as soon as this is done, you have to watch episode 1 of the podcast or you're not allowed back on.
Oh, okay.
Give me that engagement.
Roger.
Okay, so... I'm kidding, you don't have to watch it right away, but watch it before next week, so help me God.
Okay, fine. Anyway.
That was not a joke. I'm dead serious.
We know where you live.
I do know where you live.
He does actually know where I live.
But
Nick,
he knows where I live, so it
I
balances
don't.
out.
Yeah, exactly. And he also
Okay.
and Cody knows where I live.
I feel like this whole section is just gonna have to be titled "Random Nonsense" with a timestamp because this ain't nothing to do with anything, but I love it.
Moving on.
Yeah, actual
Yes.
news. Sam Jackson has confirmed that Martin Freeman is going to be in Secret Invasion, presumably reprising the role of Everett Ross, or a Skrull who happens to look like Everett Ross.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
That's gonna
we
be
already
fun.
know from set photos that it looks like Don Cheadle might be in it, or might just make a cameo as a picture, but
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see,
That would
I
be funny
guess.
if it's just him as a picture. That would just be hilarious if that was the cameo.
Don
Don
Cheadle
Cheadle
is just...
is a picture of Rhodey.
That would be dirty.
No, wait.
Funny, but dirty.
Don Cheadle is a picture of a Skrull disguised as Rhodey.
This is Rhodey.
And then he gets an Emmy nomination anyway.
The reason that you know it's a scroll is because he can walk.
You know he got nominated for...
Oh.
You know he got nominated for Best Guest Star or whatever for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Really?
What?
Yeah, no, it was great. Everybody lost their shit, and he just went on Twitter and went, I don't get it either, guys. I just bumped the table, unfortunate.
That's a strange one.
That's
a strange...
yeah, right? It's terrible. I think people figured that Carl Lumbly didn't get it because he was in too many episodes to qualify as a guest actor.
Carl Lumbly was U.S. agent?
No, he was Isaiah Bradley.
Oh, okay.
Because honestly,
Okay.
like, if anybody should have. But anyways. Yeah, no, that's exciting. As I think Secret Invasion is still supposed to come out this year.
Really?
I don't know, because
Huh.
there were hints of it, like it was on Marvel's Japanese website for a bit, but then they took it off, so maybe it got pushed back. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess.
Okay. Oh, yeah, just keep eyes on, I suppose.
Yeah. So for the last bit of news, before we get into our topic and then our review...
I got a couple pieces myself, actually.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Neat.
You do yours first.
Yeah, alright. Right, I forgot. You're also in it. My bad.
No, it's cool.
The worst part is, probably not going to be too much editing of this, so I'm leaving this in. More random nonsense. Anyway. There's a Kite Man spinoff coming to HBO Max.
Why?
Hell yeah!
Because Kite
Don't
Man-
get me wrong, Kite Man was very much one of the best parts of Harley Quinn, but that's another thing that seems like it's just kind of we're gonna pull this out because we think it'll make us money. Like, that's kind of how I feel about that, in all honesty.
Because HBO Max needs all the subs it can get. Don't you know? No, wait, no they don't. They're doing fine. Their subscriber count boomed ever since they made Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Did it really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
I was
hope
gonna
it
say,
didn't.
it's like, huh, okay. That just seems... That still, to me, just feels like it came a bit out of left field.
The Kite Man thing?
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Kite Man, so...
Oh, I like Kite Man too. I just... I don't know. I would be more excited about that if there was also more news about the next season of Harley Quinn, I
mean,
guess.
we know that's coming.
Of
Yeah,
course.
have they
it's
given a
coming.
release date or anything?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said with Obi-Wan, I'll at least give it a chance.
Apparently,
even though
the setup of this, according to Harley Quinn co-creator / co-showrunner Patrick Schumacher, is he's apparently going to be taking over management of supervillain hangout Noonan's, and he's trying to run the bar by himself, but doesn't turn out so easy.
So, Bartender Kite Man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. Not a total sell, but interesting for me, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Nick, you've got news.
Yeah, two more pieces of movie news that just basically interested me. And then I got some game news, which is very, very, once again, very bare bones.
Yeah, we can do game release roundup before everything else this time.
Yeah, that's cool. So in movie news that I have, the Predator prequel that's coming out has, the details have officially been confirmed, and after months and months and months of speculation because of the weird cover poster that they put, or the poster that they put out, it's been confirmed that it's going to be set in 1719 and take place in the Great Plains in America.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
He's the Buffalo Predator.
That's... I mean this in the nicest way possible. Considering it's a Predator, that is random as shit.
You think?
That is nuttier than squirrel shit.
Apparently, the director, Dan Trachtenberg, basically he's been inspired by, apparently he's taking inspiration from the 2018 God of War game. So I guess that's what he said. So
I mean, granted, I haven't played that game, so it's like, yeah, God of War's so great. You know what makes sense? Predator in the early 18th century.
Predator of War.
I do not know. I am just so baffled by the choice to do this, and the Predator movie that was before this was absolutely god-awful and explained that anybody with autism is just, the next form of human evolution, apparently, according to the Predator movies. So maybe this girl is autistic and she's gonna, they're coming down to hunt her because, she's the next form of human evolution. I don't know.
It wasn't crazy, Max. It was the next step in human evolution.
How are the humans in that time period supposed to fight? That's such an unfair matchup. It's like, because they have... What firearms existed at that time?
You ever see Return of the
Flintlocks?
Jedi?
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, you remember how the Ewoks took down the Stormtroopers?
We are the Ewoks now!
Alright. It's like Predator's biggest weakness: firearms that are dangerous to basically everybody except what's directly in front of it.
It's just very weird. The guy who's directing it did 10 Cloverfield Lane, so there's a lot of weird things about this movie that make it very interesting. The weirdest being that they're making a Predator movie set in the 1700s. I do not know. I want to see the trailer tomorrow. Whenever it comes out, I'm seeing it. I need to see what they're gonna do with this.
I mean, I would like to see a trailer, but that just sounds so unfair.
It does.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's gonna be great, but moving on from that, other movies. Ironically, I believe this is also the 1800s. We're moving up to the 19th century. The first look has come in, of Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon. He's playing Napoleon in Ridley Scott's new movie about him called Hit Bag. Now, this has been announced, I think, a couple of years ago. And I am very excited for this. I really wanted to see what Joaquin Phoenix is going to do after his, after his award, victory road on Joker. And I'm really interested to see. I think that this is a role that he can really succeed at.
I mean, honestly, if it's a movie about Napoleon, you already have my personal interest.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it, and apparently it's about his exile. So it's about his exile to Elba. So I'm just interested to see what they're going to do with this.
As another short, angry person, I look forward to this.
I'm definitely watching it.
If I remember correctly, wasn't Napoleon not actually that short?
Shut up.
Enemies.
False history. Do not rewrite history.
I'm sorry. This is what I do.
Napoleon was actually 6'5", okay?
Was he really?
No, I don't know.
No, he was 5'6", apparently.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, history nerd Greg took over there.
Whatever. Regardless,
still interested because it's a movie about Napoleon,
directed by Ridley Scott. So
it's still really funny because when you first brought this up to me, and I forgot it in between then and now, but when you first brought it up to me, my brain was not working properly, and my first thought was you were saying that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be starring in Ridley Scott's Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's insane.
And I was just like, I'm not saying no, but I have many questions.
No, and then I thought about it, and they could do it. It's like 30 or 40 years later. Napoleon Dynamite is living in his hometown. He never left. He now works at a post office. He's like very, he does mail and he hates his life. Thank you all those awesome mail carriers out there. By the way, this is not a jab at you. This is just this is my envisioning. If I could write the Napoleon Dynamite sequel that we all need. Uncle Pedro dies, and he goes to the funeral and reconnects with all of his old friends and realizes that there's more to life than what he's doing. Let's move on.
Maybe he was the idiot all along.
Nick, do you have another thing after that?
That was it for movie news. I got a little bit of game news. Very quick, just the new releases coming out this week. This is the week of, March 13th to 19th, depending on whenever it gets uploaded. What's coming out, the big releases are GTA 5 is finally getting released on the new platforms on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Not like anybody actually cares, but it's...
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just hate that immensely. Continue.
I do too. But that's a major release. Phantom Breaker, which is a kind of a niche fighter, is getting another sequel. It comes out in a couple of days. On March 15th, which is actually tomorrow as of the day of the recording.
No, don't tell them that.
Persona 4 Ultimate Arena Ultimax is coming out for PS4, Switch, and PC on March 17th.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I gotta get that.
So yeah, that's coming out soon. So pre-order that.
Very curious to see how that affects the collectability of regular Persona 4.
Oh no, because you in the game store, yeah.
That's my job. It's like basically paying attention to the collector market and making sure people don't go crazy, which they do anyway.
It's going to go crazy. Trust me, I buy for the collector market. It's awful. I still hate the fact that you guys have 2 copies of Kuon that are over $1,000, and I want to die. I really want Kuon, but I don't want to take a loan out for it.
I don't blame you.
Last major game that's coming out, this is the biggest game that's coming out this week, is the new Final Fantasy game, Stranger of Paradise, which is very bizarre. I don't know if any of y'all know about it. Is
that the one that's a prequel to the original?
It's not a prequel. It's from the perspective of the villain of the first game. So it's kind of a prequel, actually. Now you say it, yeah, it's basically it's everything that led up to, it's the villain's arc of the original series. So it's kind of interesting because you play as Jack Garland, who is the main big baddie of the first Final Fantasy game. So it looks very interesting. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it plays. I just know that I believe it's an action, an ARPG.
You guys, you want to know something really funny?
What?
I just looked at its Wikipedia. 3-player co-op.
Who does 3-player co-op?
It's got one more player than Gotham Knights. I brought it back, baby.
If a Final Fantasy prequel can get another player, you can't give the 4 choosable player characters.
What have I done?
Batman game. 4 players to play at.
I just want to make sure, because the overall continuity of Final Fantasy escapes me. For me,
there isn't any.
There really isn't any.
We're talking prequel to old school Famicom Final Fantasy, right? This
is a prequel to the original Final Fantasy game.
I'm seeing alternate universe retelling rather than prequel. So
alternate. Well, there you go.
So it's like what Final Fantasy VII Remake is to Final Fantasy VII.
Or a better way to say it is it's probably the Castlevania Lord of Shadows game. It's kind of like a retelling, kind of like that, in the same vein.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll take your word for it as well.
I also might be talking completely out of my ass, but those are the new releases for this week that matter. The other crap is Monster Energy Supercross 5. Ooh.
Why did you tell me? Why did you tell me?
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's a big release.
I have to know about this game that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah, exactly.
As I say, I'm the racing game nerd, and even I'm just like, eh.
Exactly. I got one more thing about games, and then I guess we can move on to our topic for the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is today in gaming history. What game releases came out historically? This is the March 15th. This is when we're recording it. Major releases. We've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater is now 22 years old.
My God.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How old is Tony Hawk?
He's like 60. He's like 50.
Isn't he in his 60s now?
I think
God.
he just hit his 60s. I think when he turned 60, he did his last 900.
53.
Oh, 50 must have been when he did his
Still,
last 900.
though.
Still, yeah, he's old. He's old. He's really old.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that's a major game. Obviously it's a major release. I mean, that game literally, it kind of brought ska punk back into the mainstream, at least for a little bit of time. A lot of people kind of got their identity from that game, myself
That's the
included.
impression that I get.
Oh yeah. Those games.
I hate you.
I hate me too.
No, I mean, I wasn't commenting on your identity, but it is more like those games very much shaped a very significant portion of the gaming industry, at least until the early mid 2010s.
Should I keep making the joke until Greg acknowledges it?
What?
Never mind, I'm not going to.
He made a really
Okay.
he made a funny. Couple of other games that are notable that came out today in history. 24 years ago, on March 15th, 1998, we had SimCity 3000. Very, very decent city builder game. Obviously, SimCity, everybody knows what it is. We got Total War Shogun 2 on March 15th of 2011, along with Yakuza 4.
Nice.
And I guess the only really other two games I want to put out at note are Samurai Warriors 4, and Sultan Sanctuary, both on March 15th of 2016. And on March 15th of 2010, we got Castlevania Rondo of Blood for the Turbo CD, which seems a little late for that game to come out on the Turbo CD.
I was going to say, the Turbo CD?
Yeah, I don't know why that came out in 2010. I'd have to do a little bit more research, but, that's very late for the Turbo 16 to get a game.
Yeah.
And I thought people remaking Dreamcast games was insane.
Whatever, but those are the major releases that came out, somewhere between the range of 5 to 20 years from, ago, so.
Oh, okay. That's... Turbo 16 game. Okay.
I'm surprised too. I was like, what? Okay. I know they made PSP games up until 2015 or 2016. So it doesn't surprise me. Japan is weird.
You're not wrong there.
Moving on, let's talk about our topic and then, I guess go into our movie review.
Yeah, so our topic today is actually related to why we are reviewing the Adam Project, which is that I tried watching Turning Red, and I got 12 minutes in, and I thought, this is really uncomfortable, and I'm not having any fun watching this, so I'm gonna just click away. I guess we're doing the Adam Project. And the reason I figured out is because I miss old Disney villains, where they could be absolutely rotten human beings, and it was fine, because you knew the movie didn't expect you to sympathize with them, and you knew that they were gonna face basically the wrath of animated God at some point or another. And it seems like lately, Disney's more about, yeah, we want the antagonist to be a sympathetic and ultimately still human being underneath it all. I'm like, that's worse! That's so much worse! That means when I have to sit through and watch these people be awful to other people, I know there's no comeuppance coming.
Even worse is that some of those classic villains that, did get their comeuppance in the end are now getting reimaginings about how they're sympathetic characters or went through trauma, so we should, give them a little bit of slack for the stuff they did.
Yeah, and the worst part is, I like Cruella, but I'm also very much frustrated at them being determined not to make her Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, that was definitely something I picked up when I saw the movie. It was just I'm enjoying every second of it, but there's not a lot of actually evil stuff that Cruella was known for, which is a bit weird.
She was an IRL shitposter, and I mean that in the best way I possibly can.
I don't want to make the obvious joke right now about one particular scene of that movie, because that would take us totally off track.
But
Like, we
I mean,
haven't gotten horribly off track before.
we're 1 hour and 6 minutes into this, and we haven't talked about the movie yet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We will
Yeah.
get to it.
But regardless, another good example is that Maleficent they had to make 3 movies of to explain how she's actually a sympathetic character who needs
2.
to have, or 2. Thank God there's not a 3rd.
Well, maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe they're making one. I don't know. Let me look it up.
Oh God.
Let me check.
Yeah, I hope they are. But they're going to be doing this
Is
because...
there a Maleficent 3?
Oh God. I'm going to wait. Suspense.
Yeah, I want to say there is, but I'm probably wrong.
Great content here for the podcast.
Yeah, no. Let me look up real quick if the... Oh, Looper. I don't care what Looper says.
I thought you were talking about the movie Looper.
No, it's a clickbait website.
I know what Looper is. Yeah. Regardless, I don't actually... I see where you're coming from with
There
that,
might
but
be?
I think... Oh,
There might be.
There might be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you should apologize. I
It's my
am now
fault.
95% sure that you willed it into existence by talking about it right now. And that all these articles backdated to 6 months ago are just a ripple in time caused by your actions.
I apologize. I ruined everything. I want to make my formal apology. I'm sorry for those that I have wronged. It's my fault.
So my take on the whole villains thing. Granted, a lot of the Disney movies, even though I definitely watched a lot of them when I was younger, I would say I'm probably not as attached to them as you guys are. My thing, as far as how they do characters now, is that what I would like is if they still kind of made the characters have human qualities that are I guess somewhat realistic, but still have them meet their comeuppance, because it's a thing of okay, you can give them actual human qualities to make it more relatable, but don't miss on the fact that what they're doing is evil as hell, and they need to face the consequences of their actions.
Well, let me expound a little bit about why this whole debate started in the first place. Me and Cody were talking about Turning Red, because obviously, as he said, he hated the movie. I actually liked the movie, and I think I'm the only person in the planet that I think likes that movie.
No,
or
because
at least
other
was
people
okay.
clearly like it too. I did say I hate it. Oh, maybe
How
I
much
did say I
money
hated
has it made? Or none, because
None.
it's on...
It's on Disney Plus.
It made $4 million box office.
But I don't necessarily hate it. I just couldn't finish it because it was just uncomfortable.
You see, here's the thing for me. Okay, before I just start talking about the and you kind of mentioned about Encanto as well. With both of these two movies, there is a older, matriarchal, figure.
Potential
in Encanto.
spoilers for both Turning Red and Encanto, I guess.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, these were fairly new movies, so spoiler alert. Don't, if you care, jump to the time code that doesn't say spoiler, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But in Encanto and in Turning Red, there is both a matriarchal figure of the family who is overbearing and has high expectations for the main heroine. And both of the mothers, or both of the figures, in Encanto it's the grandmother, and Turning Red it's the mother. They really don't get any comeuppance in the end. They really don't, and nothing really justifies it, other than the fact that they realize halfway through the movie or at the end of the movie that, oh, I was wrong. I really shouldn't be treating you like this. But both of these movies, the way that these two characters are portrayed, I think it's a culture thing. Because in Encanto, I can tell you this: I am Hispanic. Mexican grandmothers are very, very, very hard to please. Mexican women in general, to be honest, but at least from my family, at least I'm only talking about my family and my experience with it. My grandmother, all of my aunts and all my aunts and cousins and stuff. They're all very, they're very hard to please. At least in my family, but it's really hard to get that kind of validation from that family dynamic. It just seems that way. And this is a real thing that people deal with. I definitely dealt with this. My dad definitely dealt with, being undercut by my grandmother growing up. And the same thing in Turning Red, Asian American families, for the most part, I'm not Asian American, but, I know a lot of them from what I've talked to have dealt with the same thing, and it's definitely been portrayed in the media as that as well, where there's a lot of pressure to be perfect in that family and that family archetype. So it's just a different way of portraying a family situation. It isn't really a healthy situation, and these movies are made to basically put that into a discussion and put it into into a context to where people who wouldn't have gone through this would go through it. Because I related a lot to Mirabel, at least from how her grandmother treated her and all that stuff in Encanto. Because, I've dealt with that for a little bit of it, not a lot, because, I'm only half Hispanic. But, but whenever I go to my grandmother's house on my Mexican side of my family, it's definitely like that. So, I'm only talking from my experience, but, I definitely related a little bit to what her struggle and what was going on. And I think that's what Disney is trying to do. Modern Disney is trying to take marginalized groups and make content that they can relate to that also appeals to the masses. That's why we had Encanto. That's why we had Coco. That's why we had, Turning Red. They've always kind of done this. But, now they're trying to put not just characters on screen, they're trying to put family situations and cultural values and things that are different than the West on screen to portray them, in a way. And I thought that at least in Turning Red, all of the cultural stuff they threw in there was done pretty well, at least in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no. I think not to cut you off, but I think
no, you're good.
I think the main issue I have with it, and of course that's as an observer who is not part of either of these cultures, I think the thing that for me made it a little more difficult, because obviously Disney. I'm not saying parents in previous Disney movies were perfect or anything or didn't have their issues. I mean, the Sultan and Aladdin probably is not the greatest parent either. Kind of a big fucking doofus. Because the movie isn't centered around Jasmine's trauma based on, not being allowed to go out by herself or do anything independently, it doesn't feel as pressing that he's kind of an awful dad. But because Encanto is based on Mirabel being ostracized by the community, or not the community, but by her grandmother, which kind of bleeds over into a bunch of her family members treating her different, and a bunch of the townspeople. Well, I guess the townspeople do treat her different because she doesn't have a gift.
Yeah.
It hits harder, and it makes the reconciliation, from my perspective at least, and this is as somebody who loves Encanto. I don't have a problem with Encanto. Well, I don't have a major problem with Encanto. The reconciliation just felt kind of lame, because it's like, yeah, okay, this doesn't actually fix all this stuff that you did. Especially because, and this is probably unintentional on the part of the writers, but because Alma's expectations for the family were what was causing the miracle to fade in the first place, which is why Mirabel didn't get a gift, that means that Alma, even if unintentionally, is responsible for Mirabel not getting a gift, which she then proceeds to ostracize her for and make her feel bad about. And my brain cannot stop that connection, and I kind of hate her for it, and I kind of feel like she got off way too easy.
And I understand that, and I do. I definitely understand it, but I understand where Disney is trying to take it as well.
Yeah, no, and definitely. Like I said, with Encanto, it didn't ruin the movie for me. I think the thing with Turning Red is, it's a little too much all at the start. Because the exact moment where I stopped was the point where the mom finds the notebook with the scribblings of the convenience store guy, and immediately starts accusing him of doing, drags her to the convenience store, and accuses the guy of doing untoward things to her daughter. And I'm like, this isn't funny. This could, if this were a Disney movie, which, because they're trying to make it more grounded and relatable, I guess, it's easy to forget that it's not. That could have gotten that guy in serious trouble. For all I know, it does, because I shut off the movie. And I can't reliably expect that the mom is going to get any meaningful comeuppance for this behavior.
I just want to make sure, because I have not watched a single second of this movie. That happens in the first 12 minutes?
Yes. Yep. I got 12 minutes in.
How long is the movie's runtime?
Hour 40-something.
Whoa.
So, like I said, for all I know, it turns around, but it was a lot all at once, and I just did not have it in me. So I guess the thing is, I just miss when Disney villains were right bastards. It's like, you don't need to give him some relatable, concrete motive based in his own personal trauma that needs to be overcome and reconciled with. Instead, he's an evil bastard. Just go kick him in the nuts. It's fine.
Kick him in the nuts. Kick him in the nuts.
I miss that because it
Oof.
feels like all the Disney villains are either sympathetic and relatable, or it's a twist villain, and you're not supposed to know they're the villain until the end. And I just kind of miss it. I miss the mustache twirling when bad guys were bad guys in these, but I can see what they're going for, and
it's a different thing that they're trying to portray.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. I like it when it was less grounded and more, fantastical, I guess you could say. But I get where they're trying to go with it. I do.
Yeah, I think the more fantastical. I don't know. This is just a general observation that I've noticed with some of the newer movies, but I feel like they don't go for that because I guess they feel like having super fantastical villains like that will pull people out of the movie because they'll be afraid that people go, no, this is too insane. This doesn't make any sense. Compared to what we grew up with. That's a general observation. I have nothing actually back that up with.
No, I think you're onto something because I mean, honestly, a lot of these live action remakes that they've made feel like they're handpicked to deal with internet nitpickers complaining about things that didn't make sense in the original movies. See, case in point,
actually,
live action Beauty and the Beast.
Well, actually, on that, Cruella also kind of works with that because I think part of the reason why they couldn't really go ham with how evil she is was because ultimately Cruella literally kills dogs. And it's
literally,
you can't
that's
really
her character.
Yeah, and it's you can't really have God, I'm blanking on
You can't have your protagonist
Cruella.
kill dogs and expect them to
Emma
retain
Stone.
any level of audience sympathy.
Yeah, no, especially no matter how insanely attractive your lead actress is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. I heart Emma Stone.
Everyone
I was blanking on her name.
Every single
dare
person
you.
does.
I don't know, man. But no, that's kind of my thing, because it's a thing of and I feel like that's probably I would hate to be one of the writers at Disney who gets told, hey, you need to remake this 20-year-old movie for modern audiences using current social standards that did not exist when this movie was made. Have fun. And I'm not saying that newer social standards are bad. Personally, for the most part, I'm all for them. It's just, I can understand how that makes writing these new movies and attempting to be faithful to the original medium makes things so much more difficult. So.
Yeah. So, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, I might try to watch Turning Red again. I don't know. We'll see.
I probably won't. Don't think I'm gonna watch that. What you just described was a little bit for me to go.
It's icky, right?
Yeah, and I'm very easily entertained. I'll be the first to admit that. And even that
I
description
thought
is
it was cute.
What?
I thought it was cute. The movie was cute.
Okay, the movie, but not that particular scene.
No, that scene was horrid, but I can't defend that scene.
Okay.
The movie itself was cute.
At least
the movie
we have
itself,
a consensus.
No, I think everybody would from what I can tell, almost everyone who doesn't like the movie was just way too uncomfortable with that scene, and they didn't want to deal with it. While me and my friend who saw it with me are two guys who never went through anything that traumatic with their mother.
Well, the funny thing is, neither have I.
We still were this is very cringy, but it didn't affect us as much as it would, I guess, other people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's weird because, most of the people who I know who don't like it are people who don't find it relatable. So, it's people who are I guess that's kind of the cultural thing where like you said with Encanto, it's for you more relatable. So it's oh yeah, that happens. But especially when it's attached to more fantastical elements, when you're an outsider looking in, it's what?
Yeah.
This is kind of horrible, bruh. You live this? Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, all right. I think we're good to move to the movie review. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably.
The Adam Project.
The Adam Project.
It was
boy.
okay.
The most, as I said, probably 7 or 8 times while we watched the movie, Cody, the safest and most generic sci-fi movie ever.
I myself enjoyed it, but I would give it, if I was to give it another number rating, it would very much be a very solid 7.
I'd probably say 6, 5.5.
I would give it a 7 just because it's weird for me because it's one of those things where the movie as a whole is kind of but there's like tiny pockets of like moments that, at least for me, because again, I fully admit I'm very easy to entertain, that for me was just like, okay, that's cool, or okay, that's a little funny. So that's kind of why I give it a 7 myself personally. Mostly things like the quips going on between the kid, who I don't know who his name is, and basically being tiny Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds trying to take himself more seriously. The juxtaposition of some of those moments I thought were kind of funny.
Yeah, Walker Scobell. That's the kid's name. I probably mispronounced that. That kid, and I saw it from like the first bit with him. He has got big 12-year-old Ryan Reynolds energy, and I'm about it.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Here are some of my notes as we watch this movie. Effects are decent. Opener is a little out of nowhere. Young Adam is literally Ryan Reynolds' clone. Dead dad - nice ... Kinda cringe dialogue. My guy's got a sick VR rig. This movie is just E.T. with Ryan Reynolds.
He's got a fucking rig.
Oh, yeah, no.
At one point I wrote, this movie is just E.T. with Ryan Reynolds. If he likes Reese's Pieces, I'm done. Your me sign, too long. The scene goes for too long. And then I just talked about how generic it was for about 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, none of my notes make any sense out of context, except for he's got a fucking rig.
He's got a really sick VR rig, let's be honest.
He has a sick-ass VR rig,
I thought for sure the asthma was going to play into it somehow.
I told you it wouldn't. I told you it would never come up again, other than to establish the fact that he's weak.
Yeah.
That was what they were trying to show, is that he's this weak, tiny... Which they really didn't... It was... The problem I have with this
whole
movie...
section spoilers? I guess this whole section is spoilers.
This whole section is spoilers, yeah.
Very minor. I mean...
Yeah.
The whole premise of the movie is kind of told to you in the trailer and in all the descriptors of the movie.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. The asthma does not play into it.
No.
Wow, small, minor spoiler.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways, from here on out, spoilers.
So this is a 5 from me, and I say that in the best way possible. It's the most. I literally had no interest the entire movie. There's nothing in there that really. I mean, it was. I say this in the best way ever. It was just another Ryan Reynolds movie. I love Ryan Reynolds.
I had one more note that makes sense out of context. Star Wars music.
Yes, a lot of music that sounded very similar to Star Wars.
Greg, you don't understand. They'd be playing stuff, and then I would just go... and
it would fit!
So, I think the only things for the movie... I'm kind of with both of you guys in a sense, because I felt like it was definitely a Ryan Reynolds movie, but Ryan Reynolds, I guess, attempting to be a bit more serious.
Was he?
Not really at all.
A tiny bit. Granted, there was like the whole like bit at the end where he like is just staring creepily and making the snoring noise. I was like, that's really good acting, but that's also extremely uncomfortable.
Okay, you know what? It was funny because when that scene happened and the person on his other side is like smiling, I was just like, yes, she's very glad because finally he has another victim to practice his shtick on.
The only things that really drew me out were a couple of the scenes that were like way too overproduced. Primarily being the car chase through the forest.
I like the car chase.
And the moment where... Actually, what really threw me off was the moment where Laura is, like, readying her defenses and loading her guns. I don't know why the editors decided to just make all these extra, like, Star Wars noises to her loading an assault rifle. I will admit it's a very minor thing, but it was very much something that was like, okay, editors, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, but you're going a little too hard right now.
So down about 10% there, Squirrely Dan.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moments like that in the movie, but those were the two that stood out the most to me because they were really the only times that kind of truly drew me out. That and how blatantly obvious the main villain was doing the whole, "Oh no, don't do this, you're better than this, I think of you as family, I'm gonna kill you when you're not looking."
Yeah, no, very obvious.
It is the, like that's the problem I have with this movie, is it's so predictable and so telegraphed. Like, it follows every trope that a sci-fi movie, a generic sci-fi movie has, to a T. Like I said, this movie has a lot of things that it borrows from, like, The Last Starfighter, like E.T. to a point. You know, movies like Back to the Future were obviously an inspiration for this movie.
Yeah.
But, like...
I will say, I think something... I don't know if this is original or even vaguely original, or if it's just I haven't really seen it or I don't remember seeing it. I'm not used to time travel movies where time travel is the cause of the problem.
Yeah, that's usually
that was
the solution.
a little weird.
Yeah, I remember thinking when they came to the conclusion that whatever her face is already changed the past, and that's what led to their future. I was like, oh, that feels new. That feels like usually it's yes, I've invented time travel, and now we can go back in time and avert this horrible crisis that has happened before it ever happened. And then it's like, oh no, time travel was the crisis. The ability to do this is what fucked up our timeline to begin with.
The movie also does the thing that I hate in, well, like movies, shows, video games, where they do this, where they allude to something going on in the universe that is actually sounds interesting and they don't do anything with it. Like the scene where Ryan Reynolds is telling to his younger self, "You've seen Terminator, right? Yeah? 2050 is Terminator on a good day." And I'm like, I would be very interested in seeing that. Like, I would really like to hear more about that, and we're not going to go back to that.
I think that's more of a don't reference a better movie than your movie.
Yeah, but it
was just a safe movie. It was a very, very, very safe movie that was just, to me.
It's worth a watch, I think.
If you're bored and have some, let's say some special vitamins, maybe.
It's definitely a movie that I would say it's not. I can't say I hate it, but it's also not one that it's like should go in like the congressional like movie cellar or whatever it's called.
Boy, I'm glad I decided to call this episode movie. Jack Russell Terror and not The Atom Project. What an original idea by me.
You're gonna take out all references that I said to it and take credit for my
No,
joke.
of course not. That's entirely too much work.
You're gonna ADR the line. You're gonna ADR the Jack Russell Terror line in there.
If I'm not willing to edit out your references to saying it, why am I gonna put in that much work?
I like how the limiter is not that it would be an inherently wrong thing to do, just no, that's way too much work.
No, because it would be really funny if I was willing to do that, but I'm not.
Like, I'm just talking and it goes, Jack Russell Terror. And then it continues.
Yeah, no, that would be really funny. Unfortunately, I'm lazy.
That being said, anything else about the Atom Project? I was falling asleep during the movie. So
the movie immediately gets like 50 to 70% better once Mark Ruffalo enters the picture.
Mark Ruffalo was the best part of the movie. Mark Ruffalo was actually, one of the things he mentions kind of pissed me off because I was annoyed it took this long. It was when he starts freaking out about them, about how much damage they could possibly be doing by time traveling. It's like, why is it taking it this long for somebody to go mention the very obvious and very cliched problem with all of this?
Well, because Ryan Reynolds didn't care and Walker is 12. That's why.
Fair.
But
no, Mark Ruffalo was the best part.
Yeah, it was also really funny to me that in this movie, and this just kind of shows what my brain prioritizes, that Deadpool's parents are the Hulk and Elektra.
Oh, that was Elektra. Oh, that's why she looks so familiar.
Yeah, it's Jennifer Garner.
Nice. What my brain went to, being a car person, was when he like kills the guys with his parents' Subaru, and he's like, "I just saved you with the Subaru," and it's like, love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
I also like, this is not where I thought a 13 going on 30 sequel would go. But admittedly, that's because I've never seen 13 going on 30. Maybe I should have watched that before this in preparation.
Maybe.
That's time travel. I can go back and watch it. Wait, no, time travel doesn't exist anymore. Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah. Now my head's. I don't know. Anything else? Because I'm tired.
Yeah. Oh, right. You've been up for way too long. We should probably call this.
Almost
I don't have anything.
hours.
All right. Next week, we're probably reviewing X, or maybe the outfit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And if you don't know what either of those are, Google it.
Google
I'm kidding.
it.
One's a crime thriller and one's a horror movie, apparently.
But if we review X, let me tell you, the review, we're gonna give it to you.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I could not stop myself.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
Yes.
No, I was gonna finish the line, but it has a lot of swear words that I don't want to get us.
You got me back. I don't remember what the joke I made that made you mad was, but I got you back. You got me back. I'm also tired.
Well, I guess on that note, we should probably wrap things up then. I guess I'll go first. Thank you for tuning in to Under the Bridge with the Scarlet Troll and
the Agent Duckman.
Oh, I guess my name's in the title too. Yeah.
Actually, I is there a the in it? Because I didn't put a the in it because
Agent Duckman. The Agent Duckman's what I go as, but I guess Agent Duckman's fine enough.
Okay.
Cool with me.
All right.
But yeah.
And maybe the average Greg will be back. It'll be a trio of these. We'll see.
Yes. We'll see.
We'll find out.
But I will say this, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like us, give us that like and spread it, and make sure that we trend on the socials, because we really like doing this. We're gonna continue doing it, and hopefully we can make this.
Maybe I'll upload it to other stuff eventually, other than just YouTube. We'll find out. But I am very lazy.
Yeah, I'm very lazy too, and I'm also always incredibly tired. So
that
we will figure it out.
Yeah, eventually
figure it out one step at a time. But thank you if you've listened this far. God help you. God help you. God bless you.
Send help.
Send help. Good. I don't have any money, but you probably should go to therapy.
Oh man.
Thank you all for listening. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Get some sleep.
Good night.
And I mean everybody, not just even if you listen to this at noon, get some sleep. You've earned it. Bye, everybody.